We're back, or should I say, I'm back. I know after 2 weeks, yours truly is finally back on the Witty Review Show. I don't even think I had a Saturday show for like the last 2 weeks either. But you know what? Don't you worry. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Back on the Witty Review Show, I am your host, Steve Whitmer, aka Slick Witty, aka the most feared man in central Indiana. Duck in the chat. Let's go. Massive W. So I want to explain to you this show of what's kind of going on too. So I think we all know what's going on with the Micah Beckwith thing and the alleged AI video. And everybody's asking me, what do you think, Witty? What are your detective skills telling you? And by the end of this video, by the end of tonight, before 8:50-ish, that's the kind of the goal to get out of here. I'm gonna kind of leave it up to you. Also, I'm going to give you my opinion. No, I don't think so. No bodyguard for me. Don't you worry. People have said way crazier things than I have, and they've been fine. All right, so let's start from the beginning. I figured that we're going to introduce this with a timeline, and I'm going to explain to everything of like how we got here and where we're at right now, and introduce the players, what we know about the players, and at the end of this, I'm going to give you my 100% honest take on everything on this situation right now. All right, so on August 2nd, late August 2nd, there was an article from Tom Lobianco. Lobianco is a journalist. He wrote a Mike Pence book. He also said Joe Biden was Diamond Joe. So I'm not exactly sure what to think of this guy, but he had an article on Saturday titled Topless Deepfake Video, Royals Indiana Office, Lawmaker's Wife Targeted per Sources. All right, so in this article, what's fascinating about it is that at the beginning, he talks about this top staff for Indiana Lieutenant Governor played a video showing a state lawmaker's wife seemingly topless, apparently using an AI program to alter this woman's real performances at a talent show hosted on April 9th. All right, so what do we know now? We know that there's some AI video using some lawmaker's wife with her mommy milkers out, usually through AI program. I don't know what AI program is able to do this. I am on social media constantly, and I have never been able to find an AI program that's able to do anything like this. And I'm going to give you maybe on like, if you're really good at it, you could probably get it going. But continue. Now, who are these people that were showing this video allegedly? Greg Pools, who is the Deputy Chief of Staff and Ethics Commission Officer for Micah Beckwith, and Devin Nork, who was a lawyer on contract with the office. Now, if you guys remember, Micah Beckwith paid some lawyers, I think it's like $150,000, and through Adler, if I remember right, is it Adler? Yeah, Adler Attorneys. And this kind of became like it was a no bid contract, and it's because I think one of the lawyers goes to Life Church or knows him through church, one of the two. So they were saying that in this article, they were saying that they were watching this video, laughing at it. Ha ha ha! Look at the lawmaker's wife. And at the time, we didn't know which lawmaker's wife it was. I mean, I did, or at least I had a pretty good idea who it was because I know what they were talking about. So in the article, they said that Beckwith said that Pools and Nork are good people, and he was certain they would never look at pornography in the State House. And even Beckwith says if they did, they would get fired. Schadenfreude, let's go. And Beckwith said he never saw the video and doubted its existence. Now, even at today, which is August 12th, is that what today is? August 12th, there has still been no video that has come out of this alleged AI video. So continue on. A second person familiar with the video described the concerns raised among women on Beckwith's staff and about repeated comments made in the LG's office by Pools about the breast of other staffers and lawmaker's wife, and urged one of Beckwith's staffers to file a formal complaint. Now, in this article too, they talk about there being an ethics complaint. I will tell you what. I have emailed the public. I have done a public request, and I have not received anything back about any kind of investigation. All right, so who are the players right now? They're saying in Lobianco's article, they're saying this guy, Devin Nork, was one of them, and also Greg Pools, which is this guy right here. So I see they updated the LG staff too. There's 2 people missing off here, which we're going to get into here in a second. But so Indy Star wrote an article. Kayla Dwyer and Brittany Carloni. Brittany Carloni also wrote a puff piece of Andre Carson. Never trust her with politics. I will tell you that right now. And at the beginning, it was a state lawmaker says he was interviewed by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office about allegations that staffers in the Indiana LG's office watched a deep fake video portraying his wife topless. Now, we ended up finding out that it was Craig Haggard like a day or two. Wart, let's go. And I thought this whole thing was annoying. Because you're telling me that a state lawmaker says he was interviewed by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office about a possible deep fake. Now, if there was a deep fake, I would like to know what criminal charges there. Is it because federally? I think Trump was talking about it. Now, I don't know about you, but first off, there was no video that was posted. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2 is with all the evidence, I have some shenanigans involving Diego, Raju, and Fabio, aka Fabricio. And this is what the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is focused on. That is so annoying to me. All right. That's complete bullshit, as the children would say. What is that noise? Oh. Now Haggard goes, if somebody in the office did it, I want their heads to roll. If somebody made this up, I want their heads to roll. Obviously, somebody did something, whether they made it up or whether it's true. We need to find out and say we don't tolerate either kind of behavior. So he's saying whether this video is real or not, heads need to roll because then somebody made it up and we need to find out who. And we'll talk about that at the very end. Now, Beckwith goes in which I will show you the evidence too, because I don't know about all of you guys out there, but me and the people at Indie Reporter, we aren't putting out assumptions. We are putting out data. We aren't some gossip newsletter that's afraid to talk to people in person. It's so true, though. All right. Now, as of state legislation passed in 2024, creating or distributing non-consensual pornographic deepfakes is a misdemeanor offense in Indiana. All right, cool. There's also a federal law in May making a publication of so-called revenge porn online. All right, now we know. Now we know that there would be criminal charges if there was an AI video, but there's no AI video. At the time, we couldn't find anything. Even in August 12th, there's nothing right now. But don't you worry. I'm going to give you my opinion at the very end. I'm going to give you my commentary, just my opinion, after I throw out all this data, hard data, all right? Because there's articles, there's interviews, there's everything. Now, what video are they probably talking about? They're probably talking about this one right here. This is from Hoosiers for Haggard on Twitter. Craig Haggard posted this video back in April 9th, which it shows his wife right there. And there's Hunter Smith right there. Hunter Smith is so crazy tall. I mean, this guy's got to be like 6'5" or something. Here's the part that I hate. I absolutely hate about this. So Tyler, Saturday show is like 80% of me. Tuesday show is like 20% of me. Different flavors. All right, this is what I hate about this whole thing right here. April 9th, 2025, right there. This was happening during session. So while legislators are figuring out how they are going to rape us on taxes, this is what they're doing. They're having a grand old time. The narcissists of these legislators are saying, you know what? We should have this award for some BS singing, playing the guitar. I think there was one senator that was playing Purple Rain. All these sociopaths and narcissists are like, you know what? I'm not only going to totally screw the taxpayers, I'm going to get this fake award for what's the point? That's what I want to know. When during session, you should be locked in. That's my point. Anyway. All right. So then what was this? August 9th, which what was it, like a couple of days ago? So last Saturday, there's this Daily Mail article. This is on Archive, by the way, because they make you have a paywall, which I don't believe in paywalls, which is why on Indie Reporter, everything is free for right now. Unless you want that nasty content that'll be coming out in the next month or so. But anyway, in this article, it says there are even rumors that a grand jury will be summoned to investigate the matter. There's, by the way, still no evidence of an AI video, but there's going to be there's rumors of a grand jury will be summoned to investigate the matter on what? Alleged? On suspicion? That's my biggest problem. There are so many other things that we should be concerned about, and then we have this alleged video that nobody can find. That's my biggest problem with it so far. But don't you worry, at the end, I'll give you my opinion. All right, so then here is Ken Colbert. They call him Colbert. I thought it was Ken Colbert, but apparently not. I don't know. All right, so this was, when was it? August 9th, that night. He goes, this is an outrageous and political hit job against the LG. The AI-generated X video of an Indiana lawmaker's wife was released, blah, blah, blah. It is, in my opinion, that the hit job was a direct result of the establishment still reeling over their candidate, Julie McGuire, losing at the 2024 Indiana Republican Convention. Now, there's something, maybe Ken's right. I don't know. Let's look at some of the evidence. That's what I would want to know. It is very funny that he goes, hey, Lana Kiesling, where's your support of the LG? Well, first off, people like Lana Kiesling do not like people like me. They don't like people like you. They don't like normal people. They are in their own realm of their establishment. All right, moving on. So, in the article, too, where all these rumors started spreading was because of this right here. Now, Abdul posted this on his... Oh, by the way, he has Indie Reporter blocked on Twitter. So funny, right? All right, so this happened late Thursday. As you can see, 5:43 on Thursday. Right? Yeah. That Aaron Sheridan, it was a senior advisor in the LG's office. Now, Aaron Sheridan came over from Suzanne Crouch, had been in the State House for a long time. I don't know anything about her, by the way. I'm very neutral on everything on this. I have really done any investigation on her only because I don't think it really matters at this point. It's all about the video right now. So this is where Colbert starts kind of like tying things together. On Thursday, right? Hold on, let me make sure Thursday. Okay, yeah. So July 31st, end of the day Thursday, she gets fired from the LG's office. What happens on Saturday night, Saturday late afternoon? There's an article. I don't know if there's a timestamp on this. No, it just shows August 2nd. Okay. I don't remember what time this came out. I thought it was like late Saturday. I was doing a live stream, I think, when this happened. And then that article comes out about an alleged AI video. And in the article, they were saying that somebody in the office knew that it was happening. And the incident was reported at the time to Beckwith's chief of staff, Sherry Ellis, and the other state officials, including ethics officials, but it's unclear if an official complaint was ever filed with the Ethics Commission. Now, what everybody's saying, and I'm not saying this, but what everybody else is saying is that Sheridan was the one that made this whole thing. And I'm here to say, well, is there? Because on Thursday, she gets fired. Saturday, this article comes out. But there's more. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Haggard, whose wife was the alleged person in the AI video, 2 days ago, basically saying that he's running for Congress. And then today is his campaign fundraiser where he's going to announce that he's running for Congress. Yeah, right here. He's formally announcing today in Plainfield. This was 2 days ago. Very interesting, right? So let's go back. Thursday, July 31st, Aaron Sheridan gets fired. 2 days later, on Saturday, there's an article about Micah Beckwith and alleged Haggard's wife being involved with this AI video. Interesting. Okay. And then what? 9 days later, Haggard says to Abdul that he's going to be formally announcing on August 12th. Fascinating. Okay, very fascinating. Now, this is where things start to get interesting. There are 3. Now, this was when he was in Vigo County. Yeah, Vigo Town Hall. This was 5 days after the article came out. Cassie Jackson, who belongs in a padded room, asked Micah Beckwith about the alleged video. Apparently, she wears a wig. I don't know if she actually wears a wig. A lot of people say she wears a wig. I wouldn't wear a wig, but maybe she wears a wig. I know she deserves a padded room because she's a crazy person, but that's a conversation for another day. She asked him about the AI video. Now, I know you can't hear anything, so just go onto Twitter, go to Indie Reporter and just search in alleged. And he says that he can't find any video. Now, then I think it was earlier that day, Craig Haggard was on Kendall and Casey talking about it. And he says that he did not know about it until Saturday, which is fascinating, really, because there was an article that came out on late Saturday, but Craig Haggard did not even know about it until that Saturday. So it had to have been hours before the article ever came out. Okay, so then Micah Beckwith was on Kayla Blakesley. Whoa. I think this is in Fort Wayne. And he talks about Micah did not even know about an alleged video until, from what it sounds like, the same time that Haggard was finding out about it, which was on a Saturday. And he said that he didn't know there was someone was interviewed or someone alleged, something to do with the treasurer's office. I forgot exactly what it was. There was a 9-minute interview. But I was thinking to myself, why would someone in the treasurer's office be involved? I don't know. I mean, I have a pretty good idea, and I'm not going to say because I don't want to say any names. There's too many lawsuits going on right now. By the way, unless there's a real defamation case, defamation cases are fake and lame. You're just a fucking pussy. Unless someone's calling you a pedophile or a child rapist, there's no need for defamation cases. You're just a pussy then. All right, so this was it where Craig Haggard was having his thing today. All right, so backtrack. Big picture. Big picture. July 31st, Aaron Sheridan gets fired. Then 2 days later, there's an article about an alleged AI video where Craig Haggard's wife, I assume this video, because this is the only video that I could find that's clear enough where you could even do an AI video, which then I don't even know how you would do an AI video. And I'm really thinking that this guy and this guy are master manipulators on AI. This is the other big question too. Do you think this lawyer and this guy, went and paid for an AI program? He's like, you know what? Make Craig Haggard's wife topless. Input. Johnny 5 need input with a really grainy video. I mean, that's my other question too. All right, so alleged this guy and this guy was sharing an AI generated video of Craig Haggard's wife topless, which, by the way, if that is true, gross. Okay, despicable. Shoo him off, deport him. Not cool at all. Disavow. Totally disavow. Don't do that stuff. I mean, porn is lame anyway. Porn is so gay. Okay? If you're watching porn, you're gay. Don't watch porn. All right? You're going to wreck your mind. All right. So then, a week later, Craig tells Abdul that he will be formally announcing that he's running for Congress. Maybe this was a bad night for a sample, huh? Here's what's funny about this thing. Guy Relford said he's looking forward to speaking at this event to support my friend Craig Haggard, a true conservative patriot, Marine veteran, and a great champion of the Second Amendment. First off, I don't like Craig Haggard. All right. I do not trust him whatsoever. I also don't trust Micah. I also don't trust anybody. And right now, if you're going to be using private conversations for a defamation lawsuit, there's probably a good chance that I don't trust you either. So this is what's so funny about this whole. All right. So Yeah, I got plenty of time. Don't you worry. I'm going to be throwing everybody under the bus right now. All right, big picture view, 30,000 foot view. July 31st, Aaron Sheridan gets fired. 2 days later, there's an article about an alleged AI video concerning Craig Haggard's wife of her topless from this charity event. And in the article, they're it sounds like that's what they're saying. It sounds like I'm not saying that Sheridan was the person. If you've seen porn before, does that make you a post for it? No, it just makes you redeemed yourself, is what it is. It's like when you sin and then you realize you sin and you're trying to make up for your sins. As long as you don't do it anymore, then you're good. And you recognize that it's bad. And you don't do it anymore. It's that you learned and you lived, and you're just going on with that. Just like defamation cases. Maybe people will pull their head out of their behind and maybe stop self-castrating and be a man. Not like, oh my God, he touched my shoulder. I need to have a protective order against him. I'm so Chicago. You know who I'm talking about. Hey, what's funny about this whole Guy Relford post is because Shreve, who is the most hold on. Yeah, there it is. Shreve, if you remember when he ran for mayor, real facts, here's the commercial, the Shreve plan, repeal permitless carry, ban assault weapons. And we asked over at Indie Reporter back in April, can Guy Relford help us out here, please? How did Shreve get invited to an NRA event, even when less than 2 years ago he wanted to ban assault weapons and repeal permitless carry? We are so confused. And then what else do we have here? We have Craig Haggard and Jefferson Shreve at the Craig Haggard's first annual Sporting Clay event. Good call, David. And the comments here are hilarious. This guy, who is this? Chasing Fiction goes, you suck. This guy, Taco Paco 2938, he goes, I think he meant such, but he goes, you're such a fucking dweeb. You're a fucking rhino who supports the banning of certain guns. You're a bitch. Well said, Taco Paco 2938. Great call on that. And here's Haggard with Shreve, the same guy that wanted to repeal permitless carry and also ban assault weapons, with Craig Haggard. And by the way, Craig Haggard did get money from Jefferson Shreve. Funny how that works out, huh? Jefferson Shreve, the congressman, Jefferson Shreve, who said he's honored to have been asked to offer the invocation at the largest NRA annual dinner in the country, right here in Indiana. Grateful to stand alongside fellow patriots. Fellow patriots, huh? The same guy, by the way, who got an F from the NRA. Someone explain this to me, because it looks like Haggard is whitewashing everything that Shreve ever said or did. Oh, and by the way, Shreve was the same guy that said if Trump, who was asked by somebody, if Trump was the Republican nominee, would he vote for Trump? And Trump says no. Shreve said no, he would not vote for Donald Trump. He also said, Shreve also said that he is a moderate Republican, when in fact, Jefferson Shreve is a skinwalker. He is a chameleon. He will do whatever it takes to get the votes. And this is why I don't believe in voting anymore, because Shreve won the primary. I don't understand what these country bumpkins are thinking when you have a guy that said, I'm not only going to try and repeal permitless carry, I'm also going to repeal assault rifles, because that is me. And what happens? He wins the primary. Unfreaking believable. Also makes fun of Mike Speedy wearing his dead dad's shooting vest, like Jefferson Shreve's ever shot a gun. Unbelievable. Yeah, and Welsh said from Original Beaven, the only way Shreve gets invited to anything is because of his money. That's 100%. How much money did he waste on a mayor run? Like $13 or $14 million, something unbelievable. Anyway, this is another reason why I don't trust Craig Haggard. But let's keep going. All right. Don't worry. There's more. I don't trust Craig Haggard. And by the way, this has nothing to do with the AI thing. I just want to bash Craig Haggard right now because I think he's going to be because right now him and Baird, Baird sucks too. Maybe not Jim, but definitely Bo. I don't know anything about Jim. It's because if you go through his social media, what will you see most of all? Like 99%, it's him shaking hands, kissing babies, going on parade floats. That's what he's about. Shreve is creepy as hell, by the way. Have you ever made eye contact with him? He's got like dead, beady eyes. I mean, smart guy, obviously. Probably has, it's not autism, it's the other one. I think it starts with a B. Anyway. But let's go here. Oh, hold on. You can't see it. Let's go here right now. Let's go on Twitter for Hoosiers for Haggard, Haggard for Rep 57. And let's see if he's talking about any very much kitchen table issues. Let's look up solar. Nothing for solar because good farmland is going to be taken up for solar. But obviously, that doesn't matter to Craig Haggard. Nuclear? Wow. Nothing on nuclear? That's crazy. How about SMRs or data centers? Wow, data centers. Not a peep from Craig Haggard about data centers and how they're going to be raising utility rates. How the taxpayer, the ratepayer, is going to be on the hook for all of these upgrades, for all of these data centers, especially the one in New Carl that yours truly, the true reporter of Indianapolis, that will drive 2.5 hours to New Carlisle and look at the data center that's going to consume enough energy for over half of the homes of Indiana. Just that one spot, by the way. And by the way, New Carlisle is thinking about putting another one. Wow. Unbelievable. Not a peep from Craig Haggard. That's crazy. What about SMRs? Nothing about SMRs. Wait. I've heard that SMRs are the future. That these supposed things, this is the snake oil that we're being sold on right now for the Republicans. Hey, guess what, everybody? Democrats have their solar and wind. Republicans have their SMRs. Don't you worry. The grift will keep on grifting because if there's anything that they love is wasting taxpayer dollars for all their donor friends. But wait, I bet there is a search. One word, if I look it up, I bet it will show up. Do you know what that word is? Israel. That's right. Why? Because Craig is running for federal office. He's running for Congress, and everybody knows that you have to go over there and kiss the wall. You have to go to another country and take pictures for our greatest ally here over in Indiana. And by the way, when was this happening? Here's one right here. Another great day in Israel in March 26th. Wait, what was going on at that time? Wait, day 3 in March 25th? Wait a minute. Look at what's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different posts about Israel, 0 post about data centers, 0 post about solar panels. But don't you worry, during the middle of session, he had enough time to go over to another country, take some pictures because he knew that he was going to be running for Congress. Hey, don't you worry about Indiana, the place that you live and the place that you're supposed to represent. Go to another country, shill for them, grift for them, because we know, just like Shreve, that he's looking to get that APEC money. Which is the truth. And don't you think for 1 second that I will be keeping an eye on all his campaign reports. Everybody sucks. All these elected officials suck. 99% of our elected officials just want to bend us over and take it in the behind. I mean, they can't even buy us a roofie colada, lay us on a nice silky bed, and wait for us to pass out before they have their way with us. No, they'd rather just pin our ankles behind our head, lay us on a bed of nails, and just raw dog us. No spittle, just dry rape. It's unbelievable how much these elected officials hate us. All right. Don't you worry. There's hate coming towards Micah's way, too, because I don't trust them either. And here's the deal. I'm going to repeat it. I don't think Haggard, my personal opinion is I don't think Haggard has anything to do with this. I don't think everybody sucks. Yeah, everybody sucks, Brad. I hate everybody. I don't trust anybody. So going on to the I know everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, the Micah hate train. Oh, choo choo. Oh, the board, the Micah hate train, baby. Next stop, West Side Indy, Hamilton County. All right, so and I'll give you my final opinion. I got plenty of time. I got 20 minutes to rant about all of this still. All right, Micah Beckwith. I finally have my chance to talk crap about Micah Beckwith because I got a big problem with this guy. And it's not even about the religious stuff. All right. Here we go again with Micah Beckwith. He had Fred Glynn on the Unscripted with Micah Beckwith. I mean, this is what he's focusing on now. He's focusing on basically becoming a next Charlie Kirk for the Indiana Charlie Kirk. He's talking to Fred Glynn. And one of the things that Micah loves to say is, if you're not growing, you're dying. So what Micah Beckwith is saying, he wants Hamilton County. He wants all these rural counties to turn out like Indianapolis, Clinton County, Boone County, Hamco, everything. Every county to turn out like Marion County. He wants Anderson to be like Indianapolis. He wants shootings to happen in downtowns, all these places. Every one of them, he wants there to be problems, record crime, auto thefts, rapes. He wants shootings to happen in apartments. That is what Micah Beckwith is saying, because if you're not growing, you're dying. Let's give it a couple of examples of what happens when you grow. Right here, dystopian. This is when Micah says, if you're not growing, you're dying. The world's data center capital has residents surrounded. This is what's going to happen and by the way, you can go and look, you know what, screw it. I'll just do it right now. He doesn't understand. Oh yeah. Well, let's just look it up right now. Let's see. Let's see if Micah Beckwith has talked about data centers at all. Boom, right there. We looked up data center. Oh, wow. The AG data in one place. Climate center. Okay, nothing. Hold on. Let's just see if there's data at all. Latest, let's see. Data showed. Data. No data center there. No data center there. New data shows. No data. Not one time has he talked about data centers. That's so weird. What about solar? Has he talked? Oh, wait. He's talked about solar. I already know that. How about SMR? Nothing about SMR at all. I know he's talked about nuclear, which we're going to talk about. Micah will lose a debate with me. 100% get mogged. Yeah, 100%, Jimmy. You are 100% right. He's not only over his head. I think he thought it was going to be something. He wants to do two things at once. He wants the limelight, and he thinks that he has some kind of power. And what it turns out that Braun is castrating him and just putting his powers towards everybody else. Yeah, so true, David. Hey, you know what? We're gonna make sure that AI porn is so much easier to do. All right, so what happened yesterday? From Angela Ganote, Carmel police arrest 5 teenagers in connection in Saturday's shooting and robbery that left a man seriously injured. One of the teenagers faces a charge of attempted murder. This was in Carmel, an apartment complex in Carmel. We got a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, another 17-year-old, another 17, and another 17. And people were asking too, if these people were from Carmel. Yeah. Now they're from Carmel. Now what's happened is that when you're growing, you're also getting a lot of the trash. Shocker, right? When you grow so fast. So rip Carmel, you're going to be like Marion County. Hey, you guys wanted to be a Democrat city so bad. Now you're getting all the Democrat policies with it. And by the way, I do not trust Greg Garrison. I do not trust the Hamilton County prosecutor. I think he's a pussy. I don't think he has the balls, the testicular fortitude to do what's right. And I know this, and I feel this, not feel this way, but my gut feeling, is that looking at the My Case reports. I think you're right. Schadenfreude. Here's another one. This is just from a few hours ago. Hoosiers are feeling the pinch with utility bills climbing higher than ever. Many families are struggling to make ends meet. It's time for Indiana to step up and give our people a break. I'm calling for a moratorium on state taxes for utility bills until rates return to... Okay. So he's calling for a moratorium on state taxes for utility bills. Hey, do you know who doesn't have to pay state taxes for utility bills? Data centers. It's in the IEDC in their webpage. I looked it up. They don't have to pay for sales tax on the utility bills. Kiffin, the House Strongest Soldier, let's go. They don't have to pay. They have a 25 or 50 year to between 25 and 50 years where they don't have to pay for sales tax on like hardware, on servers, anything to do with the data center. I know on certain data centers, there's a 10-year property tax abatement. I think the one in LaPorte, which is on perfect farmland, but Micah Beckwith will never go up to LaPorte and actually see where these data centers are happening at. Even though he has a taxpayer at $80,000 taxpayer-funded Tahoe, getting taxpayer-funded fuel, taxpayer-funded staff, and he's too worried. He would rather play Charlie Kirk, go over to these town halls, try and mog some of these liberal morons instead of going and looking at the data centers and seeing the farmland that's getting taken out. So, whatever. Don't you worry, though. Your old pal Whitty is going to go out there on his own dime and make sure that the people are getting the truth, because that is what I'm about. But what did you say? When times are tough, government should lighten the load, not pile it on. By the way, no mention of data centers at all. No call about property taxes. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Our tax money being paid for that porn investigation at your office. Center point, I won't hold my breath. Yeah, nothing about property taxes, nothing about data centers. Hey, I thought these solar panels were supposed to like lighten the load. I thought all these areas. Hey, I was going up 65 when I was going to New Carlisle, and I saw a bunch of windmills, and I saw all these solar panels. Does that mean that area is going to be getting a lower utility bill? Hey, their electric bill is going to be, they won't have to pay as much? No. Then what's the point of them then? Unbelievable. And by the way, data centers are lame. I saw Jamie Rittenhauer made a comment about data centers, and she's, by the way, Diego by round one. Diego round one, only because Jamie's in the mix. Jamie just needs to step out, go stay on social media, shill for Trump. She's totally out of her element. It's just a big old disappointment. She wants to be back in the limelight. It's so damn annoying. Anyway, here we go. Getting mogged again. So on Beckwith's YouTube page, he's talking to the mayor of Marion, and he goes, what we can do is offer up land that was blighted, and you can still put up some solar on it, and I think changes the conversation. It was on my podcast recently talking about how the very controversial subject of solar farms. Many people to be using our beautiful farmland for solar. So I was very interested in hearing about Mayor. So in this thing, you can't hear it. You'll have to go to the page, to the Twitter page. But he's talking about using farmland for solar as long as it's blighted. And I'm calling it right now. I am. I think within the next year, Micah will become pro data center. I don't think he has no idea what he's talking about with SMRs, with data centers. And he's slowly becoming the things that he promised to fight against in real time. And it has been fascinating. And it's actually been fascinating to watch when he goes on these talk shows or he goes on who's ever interviews and he's talking about, it's like, well, you know what, Governor Braun, hey, you know what, there's a plan. There's a plan for property taxes and whatever. And I know what happened on here. He clipped it because the video froze talking to the Marion mayor, the mayor of Marion. And what had happened is that he didn't want to show the frozen clip, and so he only showed. If he would have showed like an extra 30 seconds of it, it would have made more sense. And we pointed that out to him. By the way, I think Micah needs, and I'm going to talk about this more. Micah needs to like clear out his entire staff. He needs to just fire his whole staff and start focusing on doing his job instead of trying to mog blue-haired liberal morons. And he also did end here is because he didn't specify what blighted land was. I know what blighted land is, but I wanted to show everybody like, hey, I don't think Micah knows what he's talking about. And I do enjoy when he's trying to ask a question with a question, because that's what low IQ, smooth brain morons do. It was a rhetorical question. Why don't you just stop being a little bitch and just answer the question, Micah? I'm so over it. All right. And here's probably the thing that pissed me off the most. And I didn't even realize that I was pissed off until like the last couple of days. Back in April 10th, because I'm the one that listens and watches a lot of these videos, especially when during session. Garton was the one who took over for Micah, and I didn't exactly know why. And here's the video. Right here, you can see April 10th. Garton's right there leading it. There's no Micah. There are two parts to this, and you can see there is part 1 and there is part 2. Part 1, as usual, because they have no coordination at all, is that they were late. And so I think it went on to like 7 or 8 o'clock by the time they got done with session. But part 2 was because Micah was finally showed up, and I didn't know where Micah was. And you can see right there. There's Micah. This was like a couple of hours later, I think. I don't know the exact time. I knew it was getting kind of late. And I was like, are they actually going to come back? Because I obviously didn't know the rules either. But come to find out, he was at a Charlie Kirk event. Right here. The energy at Purdue University was electric as the Turning Point USA chapter welcomed Charlie Kirk for a powerful stop. Now, on here, it shows April 12th. And you're like, wait a minute, Whitty. That was April 12th. This was April 10th. That didn't happen at the same day. Well, it turns out on the Exponent, conservative commentator Charlie Kirk to speak at Purdue on April 10th. So instead of Micah doing his job, he went to a Purdue Turning Point event on April 10th, and he had to have Garton fill in for him while he was at Purdue instead of actually holding the session during Senate session. Total BS. I thought that was just, looking back at it now, you should be focusing on doing your job. Yeah, I'm not sure about the photo op. All right, so 30,000-foot view. I don't trust Haggard. I don't trust Micah. I don't trust elected officials. 99.9% of the elected officials I do not trust. I especially don't trust anybody in Congress. Not one single one. And if Haggard wins, he will just be another one on that list. All right. So what do I think about the video? Do I think there is a video? I don't know, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen a video. I think there might be some shenanigans going on. I think Colbert might have a point where maybe this was a whole op. By the way, I want to hold on. I want to make sure that I get this right. All right. Do you guys know what gay ops are? There's an Urban Dictionary right here. A conspiracy executed by people who connect through social media to harass, dox, deplatform, etc., a person or group. This is what I am calling gay ops right now. Usually what it is that it's a coordinated thing where a bunch of people pile on top of one person and just start basically mogging them, harassing them. And this is what I kind of wondered of what was going on. Because in the article from Tom LoBianca, what the fuck ever, LoBianca, it says that there was somebody in there saying that this was going on and there might have been an ethics commission in play. Now, everybody's pointing out that it was Sheridan. I don't know if it was Sheridan. I'm not saying that it's Sheridan. I don't know anything about Sheridan. Okay, so if you want to use that opinion, that is your opinion, go for it. I don't care. What do we know, though? That there was this article 2 days later. A week later, Haggard goes on Abdul's show and says that he's going to be running for Congress formally today. Haggard goes and says that he's running for Congress today. The timing is just very unusual. It's suspect. All right. And I understand where Colbert is coming from. I understand where everybody starts coming out with all these conspiracy theories, where they're coming from. This is what I'm pointing out, okay? I'm not saying that there is a video. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy theory. I'm saying that I understand where they are coming from because the timing is a little bit suspect, all right? I'm not affirming your conspiracy theory. I just understand where you are coming from. I understand both sides of the argument, but I'm here to talk crap about Haggard and Michael Beckwith right now. So, because it's my show. So eat it. All right. There are a few people that I'll be keeping an eye on. Babel Media, because here was I thought was interesting. Hoosiers for Haggard and Doden and Johnson County Republican Central Committee spent a lot of money with Babel Media. When I looked them up, there are a couple of Craig Haggard, Shreve, Aaron Huchin, Todd Young. By the way, these people got help from Limestone Strategies. Yeah, the same Limestone Strategies that helped Natalie Goodwin. As far as I can tell, Craig Haggard did not receive any help from Limestone Strategies. From everybody that I've asked, they have said that Limestone and Cam Savage is not helping Craig Haggard. Here's what I thought was interesting. Babel Media worked with Dorel LLC, the same place that Holcomb went to after he left from governor. The other people, ARI, Applied Research Institute, the same people that's with Jad Pittman. Babel Media worked with ARI. I thought that was very unusual. All of you guys know how much I've been talking about Jad Pittman lately. All right. As you can, here's where there might be a connection with Limestone. I'm not saying there is a connection, but this is where my mind went, because everybody kept telling me that there's some connection with Limestone and Cam Savage and Haggard. And this is where if there is a connection, this would be the only one. Doden got a work directly with Limestone for when he was running for governor, as you can see with Chris Garton, also with Aaron Huchin. Now, there was one person that I know for a fact that worked with Doden and is currently working with Haggard. That is this Alex Stansel kid. This little piece of shit. I do not like this kid at all, because I saw this guy. I'm pretty sure he was helping out Natalie Goodwin. Worked with Craig in his LinkedIn. You can see he was an intern for Todd Young, Red Flag. He was a Central Indiana Regional Field Director for Doden, Red Flag, and now he is the political director for Craig Haggard right now, Red Flag. And even if you go through Haggard's media, you'll see there's a picture with Alex wearing a Haggard for Hoosier or a Craig Haggard shirt. And in Alex's Facebook, it does show that he's political director for Craig Haggard. I do not trust that guy at all. I saw him at a Natalie Goodwin event cleaning up the tables because he's a good little bitch. And from what I can tell, he was helping Natalie Goodwin, which means, and I don't think I don't know, David. I don't know if he's gay ops, because I saw him post on Twitter the other day telling somebody, he's like, this is where things get really funny though. I don't know if I could find it. He had made a reply to somebody saying, "Oh wow, that's convenient timing that Haggard is announcing that he is running for Congress when this is happening." And then Alex said that, "Oh well, this has been in the plan for months that this was going to happen." It's like, so one can say as a conspiracy theory, it's like, "Oh wait a minute, you've been planning this hit job for months." I'm not saying that's what's happening, but the conspiracy theorists are definitely going to point that out. But this is where I'm at, okay? This is where I am at. This is where my commentary is. Hello, camper. Dan Toll, good to see you tonight. This is where I'm pissed off, okay? If there is an actual grand jury going on, if the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is actually looking into this, it is complete bullshit. All the information that we have put out on Indie Reporter that I've talked about publicly, even where I got where I'm on a no-fly list with a certain radio station, is that I talked about Raju, Diego, Fabio / Fabricio Perez, and all the the connections that they have. Why are they not looking into that? and they're looking into an alleged AI video, that's what I'm mostly pissed off about. Now, I would believe it more if there was a picture of if there was an AI picture. If I had to, criticize anything, if you're going to make a false claim or a false alleged AI video, I would have just went with an alleged picture that they were sharing. That makes way more sense off of instead of like a grainy video that you can barely even see here too. But I'm with Carl, producer Carl, Tony Cast, producer Carl. There's a lot of speculation regarding its existence, but until we have actual proof that it exists, it is only speculation, and that is where I'm at right now. This is all speculation. Here's like the ultimate end of all this. I do not care if there is an AI video, okay? We're going to be getting raped by utility rates right now. We have problems with illegals. We have problems with H-1Bs. We have problems with EADs and work visas. We have problems right now with Indians taking American jobs in Indiana. Solar fields occupying perfect farmland. I saw it. Data centers occupying perfect farmland. We're talking about SMRs that the taxpayers are going to have to fund without even putting a single shovel in it. Things that Braun is shilling for, and Haggard is shilling for, and Beckwith is shilling for. I do not care if there is an alleged AI video. Have you been to a construction site or an automotive shop or any of these places, especially even like 10 or 15 years ago? There's boobies everywhere. I mean, you should have seen it when I was working at a place in the early 2000s, man. That was like normal. And I don't know if it's gay ops. I don't know if this is a hit job. But all of it is just purely speculation. Producer John, get ready because I'm about to end it right here. But I will leave you with all of this, okay? It is only speculation. But the problem where you guys messed up at is you guys kept talking about it. If you would have just shut up and just let the process take over, we would not be talking about any of this, okay? And that's the truth, because that's usually how this stuff works. If Beckwith and Haggard want to stop all the talking, get those two together and take a picture with each other. And I will guarantee you, nobody will be talking about it again. Remember when Abdul said last year that Diego was going to get indicted between Thanksgiving and Christmas? And I said, you know what? I'll give him until the end of the year. Did anything happen? No. And that all got swept under the rug because everybody stopped talking about it, because there was nothing until I started talking about it. Now everybody's starting to talk about it again. But everybody has to realize this is how the news cycle happens. But all these grassroots people wanted to make a big deal out of nothing. Just say, where's the video, or shut up. Okay, put out the video or shut up. Show me proof there's a video or shut up. That's all you had to say. If Beckwith wanted to answer questions, that's fine. But the fact that you had, people like Kayla out there asking about it, that's fine. We have a midterms next year that's going to have a lot of expensive primaries. Why are we not talking about that? Why are we not talking about all these people that are running for office that will betray us in the very near future, that are not looking out for our benefits? They're looking out for their donor benefits or other countries' benefits. All right, so I don't know if I'm having a show on Saturday. I got things going on if I do. Oh, yeah, there is one thing. Okay, one last thing. I am 100% confident that we will not get answers, just like India. And with that being said, love you guys. Bye.